Hi, I'm Hongyichi. So today the purpose of this video is about the book review assignment. So let us start with the introduction. So the book that we choose is The Last Romantics by Tara Conklin. Tara Conklin is a writer and also a former lawyer. This book is a novel of 384 pages and published on the year of 2020. We chose this book is because it is written by the best-selling author of New York Times and also curious about the storyline of the family. The Last Romantic is fundamentally about family and about the complexity of love. At the center of the novel is the Skinner family. We got fierce Rennie, dreamy Caroline, golden boy Joe, and watchful Fiona. The book opens in the year 2079. Fiona Skinner is the narrator, a famous poet aged 102. She is in the midst of her first public appearance in 25 years, and the young woman asks her, "Who was your greatest inspiration?" And this request prompts Fiona to tell her family story, one that she declares is about the failures of love. It begins with Alice Skinner's funeral, an iron poker, and a brief variation known as the pause. A free and fair summer in a middle-class Connecticut town. His children, Rennie, Caroline, Joe, and Fiona, ages 4 to 11, emerged from the pause furiously devoted and emotionally attached, caught between the predictable life they had led and the unpredictable future that lies ahead of them. 2 decades later, the siblings are faced with a family crisis that tests their relationships and forces them to reconsider their life choices, as well as what they are willing to sacrifice for love. That's all from me. Thank you.
Good evening to my dear lecturers. So I'm going to continue with the theme of the story. Well, The Last Romantics focuses on the familiar theme of family with great originality. The Last Romantics is a sweeping family saga with a poetic streak, an elegantly penned family saga that stretches for nearly a century. The book opens in the year 2079. Fiona Skinner, the narrator, is a famous poet, aged 102, and is in the midst of her first public appearance in 25 years. Luna, a young woman who shares the name of the poem's protagonist, is firing question, insistent on learning more about her mysterious namesake. The request prompts Fiona to tell her family's story, one that she declares is about the failures of love. In 1981, a solidly middle-class Connecticut family suddenly loses its bearing. Alice Skinner, a successful dentist, dies of a heart attack, leaving his children Fiona, Joe, Caroline, and Rennie, ranging in age from 4 to 11, broken-hearted and rudderless. Their homemaker mother Noni, widowed at 31, sells their statedly yellow house, moves the family into a soulless grey rectangle in the wrong part of town, and breaks down in crippling depression. She tucks herself away in her bedroom, becomes more ghost than parent, and as a result, Fiona explained, the children went feral. During those 2 wild years, forever known as the pause, Rini is forced to shelve her youth and assume a mother figure role. Nervous Caroline is plagued by nightmares and yearns for stability. Joe morphs his prepubescent self into the man of the house, fiercely protective of his sisters. And the creative Fiona, well watched by the three, remains a child and embraces the pause, reveling in the way their circumstances stitch them together. This period of neglect and adventure will forever mark the siblings in different ways. When their mother finally emerges from her face, the one thing she determined to hold on to, and what the girls are already certain of, is Joe's success. He who made being a Skinner something to be proud of, and the care and preservation of Joe remains of utmost importance, even when the sisters eclipse his success. Caroline marries young to a boy that burrowed into her life during her tumultuous childhood and becomes a mother, happily rebelling against her own mother's advice. Rini never strays from her path of responsibility, putting herself through medical school and working as a successful transplant surgeon. Only Fiona allowed herself to float through the world. She finds a good enough job at an environmental nonprofit organization and spends her free time partaking in the early days of blogging. A writer since childhood, she has a hit with the blog The Last Romantic, a chronicle of her sexual exploits, where she lists the men she bets by number and critiques their performance in detail. How a person behaved on a one night stand spoke volumes, she notes as she develops a following. But Joe can't keep up with the dizzying pace of his sisters. With his dad retired, he finds himself trying to make it in the way New York finance world with navigates in a haze of drugs and alcohol. His fall from grace brings him to Luna Hernandez, the inspiration for Love Poem. For Joe, she represents romantic love in its most luscious, electrifying form, and for his family, she is something much darker. And with all this, what I would conclude is that I would be pleased to recommend and dedicate this beautiful novel, especially to all the siblings out there, to know it is the strength and fragility of the siblings' bond, the evolving nature of love that is the core of Conklin's novel, and Fiona, with her uncommon insights, her lyricism, and steady pacing, feels like the perfect narrator. Thank you.